Welcome back to Heart Path Podcast. And we have our lovely guest, Kimberly Sanders here, who is a liberator, truth speaker, detox specialist, and earth shaman. And I'm really excited to have you here today for this episode because I don't even know, we found each other on Facebook, we've been friends, and we've been chatting, and I've just absolutely adored your energy and everything that you've been sharing about to help support people with detoxification. And you were even mentioning like now different forms of financial liberation or literacy. So I'm very excited to dive into this. So welcome. And yeah, please share a little bit about who you are and all of the things that you do. We'll jump in right now.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, to be able to see you out there in the forest, I was like, she's my person. And like I said, if we could have been down the street from each other, I would have you over and make you superfoods and do a card reading and just all the blessings. Like it's just so amazing. And I just feel so grateful to be in the place that I am right now in my life. I just turned 48 on the 8th of January, and I am so honored to get to call in the type of reflections that are here with me now. And so it's been a long journey of all the things. I was raised extremely religious, and that has just been the catalyst, thank God, for an unraveling with basically every belief system, every emotional system, everything. And the detoxification journey, I was really an unwell, even baby. I was allergic to wheat, sugar, dairy, soy, every single thing. So I've been on a path of detoxification and always the highest vibration things on the planet since I was a child, like just starting. So it's made it so that I've learned all the things, and then come to find out in 2025, 2026, we need to be eating the way that I've been eating my whole life, basic life, a little bit through those times, but just being able to really feel like be able to like feel a package of food, and then to realize that have come through so that we can offer wellness and download creators goodness to everyone. And so the healing that I've taken, it's always been through psychic mediums and different healers and that type of reality, because I've always been seeking some sort of truth. Like when you are told that this is only one way, everything is black and white, and I've created myself to be that there's so many colors, there's so many facets, and there's so many different types of people, there's so many different vibrations, there's so many different levels of consciousness. It's just a big wide world out there. And but I really have this inner knowing of what is the highest and best quality, at least in my awareness. And I've somehow come to find the most precious people and the ones that have the most dialed with creator and the intuitive knowing and things like that.
And I love that you said that because there's so many different layers to consciousness and how we're navigating with each other, how we're navigating out in the world. And sometimes we have that huge illusion of the separation or this like the black and white thinking when we ourselves, I always think of like being prismatic, all of these different colors and facets, so much more than the boxes, and especially different forms of, we could say, indoctrination. And even so for you with the detoxification, there's so many lies about what is the quote unquote normal, like what is our food. There's so many lies about what we're supposed to be eating, so many poisons and chemicals put in what we're eating. So for you, a huge part of this journey started from your own personal experiences. So what breakthroughs did you have where you really wanted to educate people and then also allow them to be in a space of power to take that ownership of what they're putting in their bodies and to even recognize what they're putting in their bodies.
I do believe too, this started around like 9 years old because I was like, I don't want to eat animals anymore. So that was in the kingpin of it. And then in my mid 20s, I became a superfood, raw food person and studied with David Wolf and Gabriel Cousins and like all the raw food gurus. And like those are some of the most precious, conscious people in human history of where we've all come in on the planet. Like Nick Good, who just left the body. He is such an amazing human. There's a book called Amazing Grace that Nick Good and David Wolf wrote, just the best ever. I'd love for you to check it out. You can find it out there online. But that man, like there, it's like I realized in like late 90s, I started finding the people that were now looking back some of the most incredible conscious bringers alive on the planet in our generation right now. And I got to travel to Peru for a month by myself, and then I met up with David Wolf in 2009. That doesn't really answer your question, but like so kind of getting into superfoods and raw food and like taking back your sovereignty on that level of like detoxification. Like to me, it was like eating plant-based, eating that way was one, but then the superfoods came into the reality and it was like, oh, this is like the next level of how you have all the nutrition and get to have all the things. So I was eating all of the highest quality. I found friends that were just like the most incredible. And then, you know, there's so many different beliefs out there. One of the main friends was like, oh no, now you have to go carnivore. And so there's so many things. And I'm just surrendered to all of it. I'm not like the vegan that I was in my 20s is not the person that I am today with any type of, like, I just surrender because some people need certain things. There's so little nutritional value in the soil right now. We had no idea as children what was going to go on with our soil. We had no idea that Monsanto was going to come in and put glyphosate all over every single piece of this land, causing leaky gut, making micro tears in the gut lining, causing the autoimmune disorders, the chemtrails in the skies causing Parkinson's, all of the mental issues. Like we all had no idea that World War III was actually going to be coming from our food, coming from injections. That's another thing I can praise my parents for, is that I have never had one injection in my whole entire life. Oh. So my blood is the way that it is, and I don't have to have my DNA completely redone. And so I just am like speechless to understand like what has really unfolded as we've grown. And then to know that the lifestyle that I have been living all these decades is literally the most life-saving thing that you could do. And then being able to have all the nourishment. And so then I was able to find different superfood companies. Even 2009 was the first network marketing superfood company that I was a part of. And when I was in my 20s, I said network marketing would save my life because I did hair for 28 years. I went to beauty school when I was 16. And I was just like, I heard of network marketing and I was like, that's the wisest thing you could ever do. You're going to just help a bunch of people. And the more you teach people, the more that they can empower themselves. Anyone that has issues with network marketing just obviously hasn't had a good leader or someone who could be there with them. And I've never had, I just feel like I have won the lottery on every single level, because all of the companies that I now am like a master network marketer with like probably about 6 companies that I spin every single day, and I teach people how to implement them with ease and grace, one at a time, or however little or whatever they need. But I literally have a solution for every single thing that is going on in the world. Everything from the cleanest food, the best ways to detox our bodies, and now decentralized banking, which we are needing so much because most people can't even remove money out of their bank accounts without an issue. And so like I just feel like I'm on this like magical roller coaster, like quantum roller skates, finding the next amazing thing for every single conscious person that wants to come into this tribe of light workers and earth guardians and people that are just like, I just get chills even talking about it. And I'm walking them through right now a 40-day manifestation with like the 111 portal opened up, and every morning we're doing mindset training and journaling, and I'm just like flooding every single person that wants to show up for themselves with how to love each other, how to love themselves, how to forgive themselves, how to see the greatest version of themselves. And that's what network marketing is. It like, okay, yes, you're going to get a little bit of money by like coaching people through the products or whatever, or teaching them how to do the business itself. But really, network marketing is to stand in your power, to engage with people that feel confident, and to teach them how to open up and say hello to someone that you've never met before. You talk to strangers and they become your best friends sometimes. I'm also get to say I'm now an ordained minister so that I can marry my best friend who found me on Facebook making superfoods 5 years ago. So like I'm so grateful to tell this story because like what is even how is it even possible? But I'm just so grateful.
Can I say it helps because there is a stigma with network marketing. There's like, bah, it's like pyramid scheme, all of the things. But if it's a product that you're passionate about, it's a product you can stand behind, there's a completely different energy behind it. Instead of you're just selling this thing to get, to have as many kickbacks as possible. And I think that paradigm is shifting too, because there are more conscious creators that are bringing these products into the market where it's not so, I don't, insidious. It feels like it was insidious before, depending on what it was. But the passion is so important because people aren't going to feel comfortable or confident getting on board if they don't know what they're walking into, or if their leader specifically doesn't have that fire. So I think that's really important. And even for you to share that, where you've had these experiences where that wasn't the case, you're like, thank you. So okay, so how do I want to word this? I'm like, what pots do you have? Because I know there's the detoxing, the nutrition, the plastic removal from the what are all of the things?
Well, I've been a person that has been exposing about the earth and recycling and plastic, and like I've been this person insane. I went to Burning Man for 17 years, 9 times in that 17 years, and I was always talking about the recycle, like we had the recycle system out there so well, and like where in the world is a way? Like, oh, we're just going to throw it away. And so we actually have more plastic on the planet than even like outweighing the humans right now. Like we literally have more plastic. So I was introduced to this company. It's called Corsair. I was actually just able to go to Bangkok in October and view the facilities. And so they have their facilities right in the like the trash area, and they're taking plastic off the planet. It takes it's about a 20-month journey for the plastic to be created back into what it was in the first place, which they're no longer needing to take crude oil off the earth. Like we have so much plastic that with this really green, clean way of turning it back into what they call pyrolysis oil. And then we actually work with the companies that some people, when they first see it, they're like, I don't want to support this. But it's like, we have Shell, we have DuPont, we have, like, there's all these really big companies that want our oil, but they're still going to want that oil whether we give it to them or not. And they're going to want to take it out of the earth. And so this is now coming in worldwide. It's the most incredible opportunity. We actually can get paid to clean the plastic off the planet. And last December, as soon as I heard about this, I was like, I somehow was able to throw every single penny that I had into it. And I've removed over 80,000 kilos of plastic, over hundreds of thousands of pounds of plastic. And this is a 20-month like service. Like it takes 20 months for it to come back into the oil. And then what they have, just like crypto, on blockchain. So if you don't know what blockchain is, it's a transparent way to keep track of things that are being done. So you've heard of carbon credits. That was not on a blockchain. And the one company was like, oh, we took care of our carbon credits. And then another company said, like, took that carbon credit that was already used. And so there was some like not well things going on. So every pound of the plastic is registered on the blockchain. We know how much has been turned back into this pyrolysis oil. And then we have a little token. It's a plastic token. And then we exchange a plastic token and you receive money back and the whole thing. So it takes time, but it was so amazing to get to meet the owners. They're absolutely amazing. And this is another thing. Two of the systems that I am connected with, they aren't companies that were like, oh, we're a network marketing company first, and then we're turning it into this. Yeah. Both the decentralized bank, first and foremost, it's a bank. They just happen to open it up so that people could utilize it for a business as well. Same thing with Corsair. It's a company that is creating this oil. They just tuned into the community to be able to get it out there. People that are like heart-based that really want to help this earth. Same thing with the decentralized bank. Like they could have just kept it as a regular bank and not helped the community whatsoever. And so that to me is what I am here to expose about really all of the companies. And anybody that has an idea that network marketing is a pyramid scheme, I'm like, what work are you doing? Because basically every other company other than most network marketing companies is a pyramid scheme.
And you're not getting money back.
No, no. And you're capped. Every other job, you're completely capped. And with network marketing, there's no cap hardly ever. Like you have to do it. And it takes time and it takes responsibility. And I mean, you know, it's an interesting way to work, but at the same time, I'd much rather do this than anything else out there, you know, to be able to help people. And like you said, if it's a good product, and I personally can't offer things that aren't in integrity to me. So I have no worry about any of that. Like if people are a no, then they're a no, and that's okay, you know.
And I feel like we are going back into that community mindset because so like for so long it has been me, I'm going to do this, I'm going to climb to the top. But that's getting old. It's been old for a long time, but it just feels like more people are looking for A, to have that sense of community, and B, looking for things outside of the systems that are essentially designed for oppression. Like we could just call it out, like the basic 9 to 5 work system, no judgment. However, even the banks, like everything is really set up to not have us succeed. It's more of to have the ones up here to get the most and to succeed, and but use the people below. And I feel like that's becoming more aware within our society. We're seeing it, and now people are looking for other ways. And we've been looking for other ways, I feel like, for a long time, but now more ways are becoming available. So especially even you speaking on those companies, they didn't have to open it up to the market, but they did. So what is about this decentralized banking? Because I feel like many people would be curious about this. Things are changing a lot economically. And once again, people looking for different ways, other ways of doing things outside of the box.
Yes, well, and it's just it's new in my world compared to all the other things. But
Yeah.
I'm also so grateful because I heard about Bitcoin years ago, and it was just like this fleeting thing of how to work around any type of online money like that. And so um, this is neat because it's going to be so that there's there'll be vending machines that you can pay with this crypto card, and so this is cryptocurrency, and the owner, the CEO of this company is the man who created USD Tether. So there's Bitcoin, there's Binance, and then there's USDT Tether. So that's who this is. There's lots of different things out there. And sometimes I've shared this with people and they're like, oh, not another crypto thing. Right. And so I luckily haven't had any bad experiences with crypto that I'm in. I'm actually doing two other things that are still great and all of it, but they're completely different than what this is, where again, it's an online banking system first for crypto money, and then it's turning into being able to actually bring your money in, set it to either a 2 year or a 2 year, 3 year, 5 year staking. And there is a way to be a part of it having bank shares right now that'll probably stay alive until around April or May, they're saying. And so that's kind of neat because like it's like a newer system where it's like you get involved and they're rewarding everybody that brings in anywhere from $250 to, people are putting in $1 million, just all this. But the money that you put in, you will also have bank shares that will be growing, and you can utilize that. They're going to make it so that the coins, the Wi-Fi coin, will make it so that you can actually take loans out against that.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty neat, and there's so much more to say about it. Again, I'm brand new and being able to explain it, but there is a card, like a little, like a Visa card that is open in Europe and different countries, not quite in the America quite yet. And it's also seen in Canada as a bank as well. So they have a lot of different certificates to say that it's as real as it gets. And so it's just a matter of learning and finding out about the owners. So also one of the people that are launching this is from Wise. And that is an app that I've been paid from one of the 7 companies that I'm with. And so, that's a trusted moving your money around, crypto money around. So it's really neat. And I've just said for so long, I know there's something out there that is going to, we put money in and it's going to give us so much more back. So bless all these people that have created these amazing systems that are not here for just a rug pull, because that's definitely happened to people. And is so sad that that is what people have done. And, but the difference between this and other crypto situations is where they're just making a coin, a bunch of people buy the coin and then sell the coin later, and everyone's held with nothing. And so that's another thing that this is not. So
Well,
really happy to learn more, like have everybody learn more if they'd like.
yeah, I was even going to say banks in general, though banks make money off of your money being in there, and they can take and move money and use it in whatever way they please. So
Exactly.
either way, like there's always going to be some sort of potential risk involved when you are putting your money outside of your mattress. But
Yeah. Yeah. And if when people don't have much money, then the bank has your money. But if you have a lot of money, like my girlfriend, her house, she got to have money from her house being actually burned down. And if she wanted to take all that money that is owed to her right now out of the bank, they don't have it. So this is, to me, this is like the next step. And I'm just so grateful because I always say, I feel like I've gotten to really fine tune almost everything in life. And now it's the money aspect. It's like I got to know how to do everything for self-care, detoxification, and now it's like, okay, now the money's coming, and I get chills. They're saying yes to me about that, and it's like I'm going to master this as well, and I'm so honored.
The money, because we do need, like, we are in a reality or a world that requires us to have money. Yes, we can do bartering and things of that nature, but I feel like it's been, you know, the separation once again, or the illusion of the separation, where people that don't necessarily always have the best interests for humanity and the planet seem to have a lot of money. And it's like, we need the conscious people that care about the earth and that care about each other to be in those places of power too. So once again, those doors are opening. I would like to rewind and talk about the detoxing with you, because what would some of those protocols look like? And I found it interesting that you've worked with clients to alleviate ADHD. I think there was like even different Lyme's disease, mold toxicity, stuff like that. So when would somebody come to you for a detox? Like, how would that conversation even happen if they're feeling off, they don't quite know what it is? How would that process go?
So I love that. First and foremost, my first step with everyone anymore after all these years
Yeah.
is to regulate the vagus nerve. Because once, like, and this is just like a hot topic all of a sudden. And that's another thing. I just feel like I'm always like in the next wave, like catching this next wave of like, oh, because when all the glyphosate was being poured all over and that man was being he was suing Monsanto, we had the only product on the market that was third party tested that was removing glyphosate and mending up leaky gut. So that was amazing. But my first piece anymore is having people come into homeostasis, rest and digest and release being in fight or flight.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure
What is
there's
that?
a
Like,
few monks out there that are like meditating in a cave that are not feeling any type of fight or flight going on. But we have children that are on the spectrum that are no longer smearing poop all over the wall and they're letting their parents sleep for the first time. We're having friends that normally are on ADD medications and they no longer need them. And and everything from hormonal balance. And why I'm so passionate about it myself, I have been working through menopause now for 3 years, and to not be able to sleep properly, to not have my hormones balanced, to not be able to be the person that I have been literally my whole life. People have said, don't ever lose that, don't ever lose that. I'm like, how could I ever lose that? Oh, through menopause.
oh,
Like
okay.
having my hormones be completely in a state that I've never seen anything, never felt anything, not sleeping through the night. For the first time in my life, my nails are growing. So something is coming into alignment with this product. So this is matured hops extract. And this isn't just hops that you go and buy on Amazon. It's a specific way that this company has gotten to have a patented product. And we've witnessed just so many people come into homeostasis. So that would be the first thing. And then to see how much people will actually stick with something. Everyone's working with parasites right now. Everyone is filled with parasites. I mean, I can go as strong as going through a 7-day liver and like mucoid plaque cleanse with people, which again, every single human needs. It's just depending on how dedicated someone will be with themselves and what they'll do. And for 10 years, I walked people through like a 90-day parasite cleanse and superfood nutrition and all of that. And I've really just, taken the gas pedal off, like the pressure off, because hardly anyone can finish anything that they start is what I've witnessed for a really, really long time. And so
And
I'm
90
like
days,
pardon me?
90 days is especially because people might be going through a complete lifestyle change when they're doing this. And it's like,
Absolutely.
an addiction to the things that they're, I can just imagine. So what is on average what you were seeing with clients where they would generally fall off? Like, is it a month? Is it 2 months? Like a week?
Well, again, the most amazing part about what happens with people is the people that can stay with it, they become my brand partners.
Yes,
They
advocate.
become the advocates, they become the team members, and they have witnessed themselves stay with it, and then they want to shout it from the rooftops. So those are the leaders. People step into leadership once they have healed themselves, like once they've had that huge experience of like, oh, I can go to the bathroom for the first time. Like, I don't have mold toxicity anymore. I can actually function. And so, um, like I said, I've kind of steered myself into more ease with people and then just working with them to the point where it's like, what's the next logical step? Are you willing to, you know, have an apple every day and take your fix drops in the morning with water. So just simplicity is the biggest thing, and then hopefully if people are not doing well, then they'll say yes to more and have 2 green drinks a day and start working with cleaning up their gut and removing glyphosate. And it just depends on how someone wants to start taking care of themselves.
Yeah, and the commitment, because
Mhm.
it is a commitment to the process. It's a commitment to yourself. And sometimes we can see so often in society it's not encouraged to look after yourself, and I feel like that's changing where people are, because they've been forced to. It's almost like they're being forced to have to look at their health, to look at, well, I'm thinking physical health, but mental health, all of it. And but it is a commitment, absolutely. But at the end of the day, you need you to be okay, to be in the world. Like if you're not good physically, mentally, emotionally, like everything is just not going to be in the most beneficial way for you. But sometimes it takes breakdowns or health crises for that to really hit home for people. But at least you are there to offer that as a support. So generally, out of the things that you're doing now, and I know you're passionate about them all, however, what excites you the most or lights you up the most?
I think it's seeing the friends come in and step into their greatness and to witness them saying yes to themselves and being proud of themselves and then finding more of the most precious people. I think about, I'm going to shout out my sweet Ren. She is it's just like it would be, I think it's the way it would be if I had a child that like lived the life that I could dream of and like wish for this person. I feel really blessed because I don't have any children. I am a fairy godmother to 2 little people, but I didn't have any like children of my own. But I nurture and love all these women in my teams, and I'm just so in love with so many women. And I think about Ren and who she has become, who I've witnessed her become, and like every day, my only job, so my network marketing job, is to set up the most like brilliant way that I can like climb the ladder, hold the light reflecting, and like shine the light so that these beautiful ladies see themselves in the most divine, ecstatic way, for them to step into this leadership and to speak their truth and to call in more of these beautiful, amazing beings. And that's what's happened. That's what's been going on for 10 years. And And then we have calls, and not everybody wants to sit on a Zoom call, but you get to witness people's stories and healings. Like literally like 3 times a week, we can get on a call and have people sharing their healing testimonials. And so it's just this vortex of in like elation of people being healed. It's like, again, I was raised so religious, and the parts were so neat where they touched his garment and Jesus's robe and they were healed. It's like we can do that with ourselves, and we have the tools to do that, and we just have to have some consistency, and then we get to come together as a network marketing community and speak this truth about our own lives, and people witness each other's greatness. And like, I just can't see how that isn't the most precious gift that we could give. And then the companies pay for our lives to do this, so we don't have to go to a 9 to 5 job, and we don't have to go out in the world and not have time to take care of ourselves. That's the whole piece of being able to do this type of work. If you can dance with self-care while doing these types of JOBs, joy of being, and you can go out there in the world and meet people while you're taking care of yourself. You can, it's incredible if we can weave ourselves into the community and bring conscious commerce to the world out there, so that people can end the need to like be exchanging hours for dollars. Because once you have the knowingness that money can come in minutes compared to hours, and you're not looking to be claiming that my value is worth this much an hour.
Mm-hmm.
My value is worth like $10 million per minute.
Yeah, we can't even put a price on that.
No.
See, I always got caught up in that, especially for being like a practitioner and operating in different ways. It was so tricky, like that. It is a slippery slope of charging your worth and what, because you can't even like you can't even put a price on that. But you are right, the trading time for money system, once again, does cap you too. So it's nice to be able to have other avenues of revenue to come in where you're still investing time, you're putting into the community, but not necessarily, it feels different. You're not going into the or going through the motions of the job or the work. It's more of the building the community. And I think there's something very powerful when people are getting together because they are sharing. You could have people, they might all be in different states of consciousness or higher levels of awareness, but they're going to have different backgrounds. They're going to have different experiences and stories. So to even have them in the same room together, whether, well, virtual room, whatever that looks like, that can be inspiring too. And then you almost get to see the domino effects, or you get to see the relationships built between complete strangers, or even for yourself, where you've met people, you're like, I don't even know them, but I love them. And that's beautiful about being able to have those community spaces too.
Mm.
So could you have ever envisioned, because let's just even go back to where you were doing all of the superfood things and learning and just getting all of this information to put into practice at that stage of life, could you have envisioned or imagined yourself to be here now doing what you're doing in the ways that you're doing it?
Well, I dreamt of it, right? Because in my early 20s too, I went through all of this training from a course classes with T. Harv Eker, the Millionaire Mind Intensive, and I took every class: Enlightened Wizard training, Enlightened Warrior training, Train the Trainer, Guerrilla Business School. There was like, I think 12 different courses that I did in my early 20s. I wanted to do all of that. I wanted to have that level of, I call it my college, because, my favorite part about me is like, I didn't finish school. I was taken out of school in the middle of eighth grade. I didn't even get a GED. We actually got to pay less for my beauty school by not having a GED somehow. So it was so pointless to even have it. I couldn't care less. And I am going to have a certification of like a naturopath situation that's coming up here soon. But even that, like, titles don't matter to me. Like, it's just going to be so that I can purchase another type of detoxification and have like, I don't know, like a certificate for something, you know? It's like that type of thing doesn't thrill me. I don't. I hear people's titles and they've had no nutritional training, but they're calling themselves something. So it's so interesting. But what I witnessed and what I dreamt about back then would be something like this. But I had no idea that I would be able to have called in the exact type of people, even though I've spoken it, and this is who I wish to be around, like friends like yourself, ladies like yourself, and really that knowing. And again, everything leads to the fractal of light, of light itself. And there's different ways people need to get there, and some resonate in different ways. And I just feel really thankful that I have called in the similar viewpoints so that nobody has to mute down their light. I don't have to be in a place where, if I'm going to offer blessings or offer downloads from creator, it's not going to trigger someone. It's not going to trigger someone if I'm pulling a card from the language of light deck. You know, it's like, and everybody can do whatever they want, but somehow I have been blessed to bring in the healers and the light workers and the earth guardians. And there's more. I know that there's more out there, and we all deserve to have this freedom. I'm always say that all the people in my team, it's like they're the eagles. They're the ones that are the most radical, and how to bring them all together is a whole other thing. But you know, the freedom, we all want this freedom so deeply. And so I just hold the mirror for them to love themselves and offer kindness and whatever they need, really.
And
But
oh, sorry.
I no, no, I just want to say, but when you detoxify your body, I feel really blessed. Like, maybe different network marketing companies, if people haven't been detoxing their bodies the way that we have for the last like 5 to 10 years, that is in itself the blessing of this type of work. Like, there's not as much drama, there's not as much triggers. Like, you can see the people that are really digging in, they're going to detox themselves to the point where they know how to take full responsibility. And those are the people that you would want to work with. Like, you know, like, there isn't alcoholism in my team. Like, there isn't drug addiction in my team. Like, we are in reverence to our bodies, and we're connected to the earth, and we're being fueled by the whole thing. So I think that really helps. Sorry, just wanted to share that.
Well, and even it's like a vetting process in different ways of like, how committed are you to going to the debt? Because it like detoxing is no easy adventure, because not only is it purifying the body, but emotions, trapped emotions that are stored in your body can come out of what appears to be nowhere, but it's being flushed out of your system. So it's not a fad by any means. And you're right, you will be changed. There's no way that you can't be changed. And then just even as a person going through that process, to know what they're capable of. And it is, once again, it's a commitment. It might even turn into a lifestyle for you if you do it, but it shows you what you're capable of, and like you're absolutely right, new levels of clarity. You start seeing things different or operating different because you're not being run by the parasites, which really do essentially hijack you. Like they can, so fascinating what this can happen within our bodies, like the the mental capacity, like fogginess. It's, and you have no clue. You might think that's your norm and it might not be. So wild. So how can people find you? I'm going to have it in the show notes, but where can they find you on social media, or even like links? Once again, will be in the show notes, but to find links for you and some of the products that you have available.
So I think Facebook is a great way to find me. I'm sure I could leave my email, and I actually don't really have a lot to do with Instagram. It just doesn't resonate for some reason. It's interesting. I've been out there for years, and I haven't had one true connection from Instagram ever. It's really a fascinating place to me. I am very intuitive online, and I can feel who is there. And Messenger holds a really beautiful place. I like to make the background really pretty and just turn it into this magical fairyland, and we make connections, and I go on walks with people on my headphones, and we'll talk for forever, and just like if we were meeting at the park, and just doing that. So I think on Facebook, Kimberly Sanders, and all the information that's below will be perfect. The way, when you said, how do I start people? I have a nutrition assessment form that is really important for people to fill out. And even if we start people on the drops to be able to bring the vagus nerve back into balance, it's really good to still have that filled out, because we can see where people start, we can see what's really going on, the medication that they're on, how their digestion is, what they're eating. And it's been such a journey for decades to, like, sometimes get on the phone with someone and it's like, how are you doing? How's your eating? How's all that? Oh, it's great. Everything's great. But if people write down what they eat, how they are, all this stuff, it's a completely different story than it's just a verbal communication. Like sometimes writing things down for people, they can have a little more transparency, I guess. I don't know. So that is in the link. And yeah, I work with people who are serious about wanting to do the work. It's the
Yeah.
best.
And I think that's important. And once again, no judgment to folks that fall off of things. You know, it is what it is, but you get out of things what you put into them. And it's really important to remember, because you could be, in your life or your world saying, why isn't this happening? Like, what are you doing? Are you actually investing time, energy, care? And yeah, I think that's important to remember, wanting to work with people that are committed, because at the end of the day, you're your biggest investment that you could put into, because then it does create that. I always think of the ripple effect. Everything that you do to better yourself or empower yourself will be that either little spark for someone else, whether you share it or they see you differently. And it's not about us. Like, it really isn't. It's about everyone, but it starts with you. I guess that's the tricky. It's not about us, but it starts with you. But yeah, those notes will be, or those links will be in the show notes. And any last words of inspiration or perhaps motivation for someone that has been curious about taking responsibility for their health, personal sovereignty, financially, anything, any little golden nuggets of inspiration?
I feel that all of what we're talking about, it's all so connected. Like the detoxification of plastic off the planet is the detoxification of plastic out of the microplastics out of the bloodstream, which I also support people to do. And and then but the kingpin here still, if I really think about it, is that piece of like helping the planet with the plastic, because here we are purchasing all these products to remove the plastic from the body that's the earth. It's just this infinity loop, and it all is just it's just we have to marry it all together. And that was the biggest thing for a long time. I've been shamed by multiple people saying you're not supposed to do more than one thing.
Oh.
And I am like, I can't help it. I absolutely have to do it, all the things. Like, I can't not do one thing without the other. Like, they are 100%. And I'm just so grateful to be able to let go of any guilt, any shame, any fear of what someone would think about me. And I think that's the biggest piece I could offer, is whatever the case may be, let go of what someone would think about you for starting to take care of yourself better. Like, it's just so interesting that people could be eating McDonald's, using microwaves, doing all these things, and nobody's worried about it. You start detoxing yourself or doing something natural, and it's like, oh, I don't know, that's not FDA approved. And it's like, are we still having that conversation? Like, is that where we're at? Okay, it's okay that we're there, because there's so much detoxification that's needed. So start small, baby steps. There's apps out there that you can actually scan the barcode, a Yucca app. You could use the Bobby approved app. Start just little by little, letting go of the seed oils, letting go of any artificial things, letting go of things that just is not for your highest and best. And yeah, and just if what we're sharing resonates at all, it's like, it's like, let's just fill your superhero backpack with all of this magic and come and join a beautiful community of people that care so deeply. And and whatever flavor you like, there's literally a solution and something that can match somebody's desire that I have. And I'm so grateful of that piece.
And don't care what people are gonna think.
No, no. And don't wait. I always say to my ladies that aren't 40, I'm like, don't wait till you're 40. And so my coaching to myself is, don't wait till you're 50.
Woo!
So I'm already living like I'm 50, and then it'll be like, don't wait till you're 60. Like, I'm just so grateful.
And we have these barriers of age and time, and I think it's completely irrelevant now. Like, I really do believe, because do you remember being a teenager and thinking the 30s were ancient? It's like, what? 30s?
Right.
40 is the beginning. What?
I feel like my life is just starting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So thankful. And everything that I have is bringing our telomeres to be younger. So we're reversing age. I have multiple things that are just reversing age and removing the pain and the inflammation. And we're not supposed to be aging in the way that we've witnessed things happen. Like, it doesn't have to happen that way. But we do have to choose that we're not going to poison ourselves to death, basically. So
Don't
let's
wait.
do it. What?
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Don't
Don't wait.
wait.
You're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Like, just don't wait. Oh, no, it's funny. I have a card that I pulled this week, and it says, do it now. Don't put it off any longer. Have courage. Listen to your intuition, for it is the guiding voice of your soul. Do it now, y'all.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful to have you here. And I know we're still going to have our little Facebook chat, but thank you for being on Heart Path Podcast. And we'll say until next time. Bye.